Words I have to say may well be simple, but they're true. Until you give your love, there's nothing more that we can do. Love is the opening door. Love is what we came here for. No one could offer you more. Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really seen?
Have your eyes really seen? Those of you that are clued in got your sunglasses on, right? And if you really need to see me, you can take them off. It's okay. So about 8 years ago, I had cataract surgery. And from that, my eyes were very, very sensitive to bright lights, especially the sun. So when you have cataract surgery, the insurance will pay for one free pair of glasses. Well, I decided I wanted a really good pair of sunglasses. And so I got these guys. And they're actually called cocoons, which are made to go over your regular glasses. But I was so sensitive to the sun, I didn't want anything coming even in the sides. And I had a choice. I could get gray or amber. Well, the darker the better for me. So I got the gray. And I love them. I use them for driving, the beach, running in between the grocery store and my car. I use them for everything. 8 years ago. So a few months ago, I noticed that I wasn't seeing as clearly as I normally did. I decided it was time for an eye checkup, and I went. My vision had changed maybe just a little bit. And I didn't really have to get glasses, but you know, these guys are really beat up. They're scratched. No matter how much I clean them, I can't see out of them anymore. So I thought, I need a new pair of sunglasses. Well, I was faced with the same decision. Do I get gray or amber? So I sat with the tech for a while, and I decided to get amber. I picked the glasses up, and the next day I flew to Virginia to visit friends. So this was going to be the first time I wore my new glasses. And this was Easter time, and it was spring. Spring was just breaking there. I've been in Florida so long, I don't see spring very much. And it's so good to see a northern spring. So I had my new glasses. I'm not going to put these on because I won't see you. But I had them on, and as we're driving, I'm like, ooh. Oh, wow. And the little buds, the spring green buds were just coming out of the trees. And the sky was so blue. And then there were dogwood blooming. There were red buds. Those of you that know what red buds are. There were daffodils. There was wisteria, that light lavender wisteria everywhere. And I was like, I have just never seen anything so beautiful. My friend says, why don't you take your glasses off for a minute? And I did, and it was still beautiful, but it did not look the way it looked with those glasses on. With my new sunglasses, the world looked different. It looked brighter. It looked clearer. And I felt different. Because I changed the lens I was looking through. There's a saying, isn't there? Renee, you got the glasses to prove it. It's about looking through rose-colored glasses. And that means I'm optimistic, that I'm looking at the world in a good way. So these old gray glasses that are scratched, and no matter how much I cleaned them, I still couldn't see clearly out of them. Yeah, they were blocking the sunlight. But they were also blocking the beauty all around me. So what about you? Has life been appearing a little less brightly for you lately? Dan? I didn't get time to cue you before you came. Are we on this? Sometimes all you need is a new perspective, right? A new pair of glasses. Researchers at the University of Utah, listen to this, have developed what they call smart glasses. Anybody hear of these? You have. Of course you have. They're a liquid lens that automatically adjusts focus. So you'll see clearly no matter the distance of anything. Thank you, Chris. But imagine that. Imagine being able to put a pair of glasses, no matter what your prescription is, to put these glasses on and you can see. Each of you have your own smart glasses. And if you use them, your life becomes clearer. Everything we see, everything we hear, everything we experience creates our perception of life. Do you hear that? What I see, what I hear, what I experience creates how I perceive life, which means I create my own life story by how I see and how I view the world. And they're fine, guys. The children are fine. Don't worry about them. Let them be children, okay? The lenses that I look through, the lenses that my eyes look at the world through, are how I'm going to see everything. In unity, our third unity principle, thoughts held in mind, those of you that know it, produce after their kind, which means whatever I'm thinking about the world, about people, about a situation, that's how I'm going to see it. That's how it's going to show up for me. And when I'm caught up in my story, and I'm caught up in my victim's story, my life is going to show up exactly the way I'm telling my story. Have your eyes really seen? Have your eyes really seen? Do I really see? Bob was 26 years old when he met Ray Stanford. Ray was the owner of a multi-million-dollar businesses in 47 different countries. And at this time, at 26, Bob was working himself into the ground, trying to get ahead. He'd had one failure after another. His health was very, very poor, and he didn't think he would ever get out of the debt he was in. He was earning $2,000 less a year than his debt. So Ray sat there and listened to Bob's story. And Bob said, no matter how hard I try, I can't get ahead. I have no formal education. I have no experience. I have no money. Life is against me. Life is hard. And Ray said to him, this multi-million-dollar said to him, look at me. I'm 55 years old. I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I'm very, very wealthy. And do you know how I got here? I changed my point of view. And he looked at Bob and said, if you're not happy, healthy, and as wealthy as you'd like to be, now remember, as wealthy as you would like to be. And that can range for all of us. If you're not happy, healthy, and as wealthy as you'd like to be, the problem isn't lack of education, it isn't lack of experience, and it isn't lack of money. The problem is perception, the glasses you're looking through. And then he said this, your perception is your reality. My perception, the way I see life, creates my reality. And he said to Bob, your perception is not the reality. Do you hear the difference? Ray said to Bob, you keep telling the same story over and over of why you don't have what you want. And the only reason you don't have it is because you keep talking about what you don't have. Change the story. Step back, look beyond the excuses you're making up of why life isn't showing up the way you like it. And then he handed him, and those of you that have taken the Prosperity Plus class, he handed him Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. And we have a picture, Dan? And in the book, one of the quotes, brains become magnetized with the dominating thoughts we hold in our minds. The way your life is today, right now, is because of the dominating thoughts you have been holding. This conversation between Bob and Ray happened 50 years ago. Bob I'm talking about is Bob Proctor, entrepreneur, author, motivational speaker with a net worth of $20 million today. Think about the story you're living, because you wrote it. Maybe not consciously, but you created the reality that you're living now. The unconscious beliefs, hear that word, unconscious beliefs that shaped you come from your parents, things they told you, how you grew up, the schools you went to, the culture you're in, of course the media, your friends, your associates, all their beliefs get dumped into you. And we don't even know it. Every experience we have, every interaction we have, everything we've learned creates the lens we look at the world through. Notice the story you're stuck in. Notice what your mind keeps telling you over and over again. And if you don't like the life you're living, if you're not healthy, happy, and as wealthy as you would like to be, stop telling the same story and change your sunglasses. Dan? Life is short. Buy the glasses. Suzanne saw those glasses and went out and got them just for today. Hold your glasses up. They're little heart glasses. I love them, yeah. Change your story. You got to keep up with me on this, Dan. Dan got caught in traffic, got here late. I didn't get to sit with him, so we'll go back and forth like this. Change your story. Really pay attention and think about the story you keep saying over and over again. Next, change your perception. Notice how you're viewing life and really make a conscious effort to change how you view it. Change your life. Change your life. And then you've got all three, Dan. Change your story, change your perception, and change your life and become the screenwriter and director of your life story instead of just an actor, instead of just a puppet. Just because I believe something, really hear this, just because I believe something doesn't make it true, right? And just because I don't believe something doesn't mean it isn't true. The belief that the world was flat, that this continent we live on didn't even exist, was a belief. That's all it was. It wasn't the truth. Those things we get on to go from place to place in the air that we're so used to now. At one time it was said to people that were thinking about flying, if man was supposed to be flying, they'd have wings. That was a belief that man couldn't fly. And what about the telephone? And radios, and now the cell phones. 100 years ago, people would have said, that can't happen. They didn't believe in it, but it didn't mean it couldn't exist. So if you've got a belief that is telling you that you can't. No, it's just your belief. And underneath that is the power that you are. Underneath that is what Suzanne brought us to in meditation, is that ability to do anything you want as soon as I change the glasses I'm looking through. Choose to look at the world through clear, positive lens. Do you have that next one, Dan? Train your mind to see. You got a pair of old sunglasses, you might have fun writing that on there. Train your mind to see the good in everything. Eliminate from your life the word fear. Because fear makes everything show up negatively. I'm not saying don't be wise, but don't be fearful. If I see the good in people, guess what? Guess who's going to show up in my life? Guess who I'm going to attract? More good people, right? We talk about we're energy beings. And if I see people as good, that energy vibrating from me is good. It's going to attract good. If I view my body as a gift, and it is, I don't care what shape it is in. If I am grateful for my body, for what it does for me, do you know what? It will start to respond. And this movement is based on that. It's based on Myrtle Fillmore, who at 40 years old was told she was going to die in 6 months. And she was told, this is how our perception is. She was told from the time she was a little girl that she had inherited illness because everyone in her family got tuberculosis and died. And they gave her 6 months to live because she had tuberculosis. And she went to a seminar, and she heard the words, I am a child of God and I do not inherit illness. And you know how sometimes you get something and it just clicks inside your head? All of a sudden it makes sense. And she went home and she spent 2 hours a day in meditation for 2 years. And what she did was she actually talked to the cells in her body. She talked to her organs, and she told her liver how good it was and how much she appreciated it. She went through her whole body like that. In 2 years, she was healed, and she lived another 41 years. I get to choose my thoughts. When I focus on beauty, when I focus on abundance, I will find it all around me. So I'm stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic, and I can sit there, right? Right? Or you know what I do? I roll my window down and let some air in, even if it's hot. And if I'm near some grass, I'll look for the beauty in that grass, because I will always find a tiny flower. I will always find something in there. And in that moment, that traffic disappears. I can have peace in the middle of that traffic. I am responsible for the lens that I view life through. I am responsible for the lens that I view my life through. And blaming others, blaming a situation or event or something that's happened, keeps me seeing through these dark, scratched, worn out glasses. My dark, scratched, worn out beliefs. It begins with a decision. It begins with my decision. It begins with your decision. Because, and really hear this, if you don't decide, the world will decide it for you. I don't make the choice to change the way I see the world, it will scoop me up, and just like a rock slide, I will start tumbling with it, picking up all the junk. Have you ever seen how an avalanche starts and the snowballs, and when they go and they pick up all the dirt and all the rocks? That's what we pick up. We pick up all the gunky beliefs. Make the decision that you're going to change your view of the world. Make a decision to change from gray to amber, and your world will be cleaner and brighter. Start this week. Take responsibility for your happiness, for your life. Choose to see through new lenses and change your sunglasses because, Dan, you can't see all the haters when we got a love sunglasses on. God bless you.